Hey there, I'm Katsumi, and this is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So, right now, I'm feeling some sort of like very abundant, okay, Eight of Pentacles energy today, okay? Kind of like this, like, dedicated, focused vibe, okay? Something very rewarding is coming in, and right now, the word coming through is restored, is what I'm hearing, okay? Something about what you thought was a permanent loss was actually just a long term investment that is finally maturing. I'm also hearing it's returning back to you, okay, tenfold. So, yeah, let's find out what other messages are coming through. But yeah, just a lot of good energy, okay? It feels like you made some sort of old investment of the past, okay? Maybe you lost some sort of money, or this lost money is being returned to you unexpectedly, okay? You weren't expecting that you were going to get this return, you weren't going to get this refund, you weren't going to be like, I'm hearing something about severance package, something about a check coming in the mail, okay? That might be of significance, but nonetheless, some sort of justice is brewing up for you, okay? Balance is being restored. This might even be in like a law court. Like, I'm hearing law and order for some reason, okay? Just like maybe even some sort of spiritual court. Something is like some sort of karmic debt is being paid. Maybe even some sort of physical debt is being paid. Maybe you overpaid on something and it's being returned to you. It's almost like a resource rebound kind of like vibe is what I'm hearing. Okay, some sort of energy that you put into some sort of venture. I'm hearing venture capital for some reason. Entrepreneur, sort of like business or something like that might be of significance, okay? But yeah, you're in this position of feeling grounded or becoming more grounded again. Maybe you heard some thoughts, maybe some energies from the frequencies about, just kind of just being or setting some sort of mindset about getting grounded again, okay? Maybe you might have been spending too much time in your head, okay? Maybe you started being more focused on or starting to begin your focus or pay attention to your body, pay attention to what the earth is trying to tell you, the frequencies are trying to tell you by going outside, planting your feet on the ground, enjoying and centering yourself in the things that are bringing you joy in your reality, okay? I'm hearing some sort of like echo in the background, okay? Something about you almost like stopping this vibe of dimming your light, dimming your vibrancy, okay? I'm hearing it's time for you to come out of the shadows, okay? Let your authentic self soar, okay? I'm getting like phoenix rising from here, flying high, being almost like elevating yourself is what I'm hearing, okay? That hierophant energy might be of significance, where it's kind of just like you are almost like captivated by something that you're hearing in the spiritual realm, okay? Some sort of traditional belief, some sort of I'm hearing passing by might be of significance because it's really allowing you to manifest something in your reality, okay? Something about the hidden influences, something about something is manifesting in your hidden influences. You might not see it quite yet, but subconsciously you know something's brewing up. Maybe you're in like good vibes or becoming or getting into good vibes again, where you are now feeling that sort of, some sort of, I'm hearing like some sort of airy light feeling that's coming about in your present moments, okay? But really interesting, okay? Ooh, something about. I should use a different deck. I don't know. I'll just stick with this one. But something about you putting your energy into something, okay? You might have thought it was a total loss, but it's finally circling back with interest, okay? I'm hearing that there's also somebody in the mist, okay? That was almost like whispering about your failure as well. So perhaps this is why you felt like things weren't going to pick up for you, like your assets were being wasted. I'm hearing something about your wrist, okay? Maybe you need to crack your wrist, or maybe you felt like you cracked the situation, like you put your I'm hearing you put your nose on something about you really being able to decipher a situation because these people were I'm hearing whispering under their tongues, okay? Hushed tones is what I'm hearing. Something about like almost like the universe was actually using this time, okay, to multiply your returns in a hidden account, a hidden situation that you weren't quite aware of, okay? While these individuals were trying to get into your ear, okay, trying to butt noses with you, is what I'm hearing. Wow, okay? It's like maybe this was some sort of like partnership that you felt was going to be fruitful, but turns out maybe you felt scammed, is what I'm hearing. But then there was maybe some sort of lawsuit that happened in the background, so that you're getting some sort of, like, I heard the word package for some reason. Okay, you might get some sort of package in the mail. You might get some sort of news from someone that you have a delivery. Okay, wow. Okay, yeah. There was some sort of emotional investment that you had in this endeavor. Okay, this might have been a business that you tried to start up with somebody. Okay, you felt like you lost everything, so when you kind of cut the cord, you felt like maybe there was nothing left to regain from the losses. You maybe felt rejected. Maybe you felt like it was too complicated to ask for some sort of return. This could be even like a housing situation. Maybe even like you owned an apartment and you felt like you couldn't get your, I'm hearing, down payment or like something like that back. Okay, something to do with like you just not being quite aware of it until somebody flagged it down for you on your behalf. Something like that is happening in the midst. Okay, um, but yeah, it's like something about insecurity, having self doubt about what you deserved. Maybe might have influenced your opinion about something. Okay, because the universe is asking you to ground yourself. So maybe you began to do that. Maybe eventually, once you grounded yourself, you stopped panicking. You started to, try to almost like get what you deserve. Is what I'm hearing. Okay, some sort of like, I don't know what it is. Like something kind of shifts in the atmosphere. Okay, is what I'm hearing. Like something is coming back to you tenfold. Maybe they're calling up and saying, "Hey, you deserve this," or "Hey, we felt like we did you wrong, so we're giving you this back in return." Maybe it's kind of like that. Like people are feeling accountable for something that they should have given you to begin with. Is what I'm hearing. Wow, it's almost as though it's like people try to. It's like if you provided some sort of financial resources to somebody, okay, and you felt like you weren't gonna get it back. It almost feels like someone calling you up, asking for a favor, you giving them the money, and they never paid you back. But eventually they end up doing it. It's kind of like that. But at the same time, there's also still people whispering about your failure at the same time about, hey, you probably shouldn't have I'm hearing overindulged in being generous for some reason. It's kind of weird, because like when you give to others, without expecting anything in return, the universe is naturally going to reward you tenfold. So it's kind of just like it's kind of a weird energy for people to feel that way towards you about your generosity when you were doing it out of the kindness of your heart. You know what I mean? Kind of odd. But there's some sort of like some sort of rebound effect, some sort of reversal, Uno reverse kind of effect landing on your doorstep is what I heard. I heard lap. Okay, something about it's like at this moment. Okay, you need it the most is what's happening. Okay, it's like you might be manifesting some sort of return of this fortune, return of the money that you put out there in the universe. So you're having a lot of wishful thinking. You might be overthinking about it at night. Might be hoping that something will manifest. But it feels like things are because of you putting it out in the frequencies, and even though you're thinking about it a lot, universe is still asking you can think about it, but almost like take your energy back because what you let go, it will return to you. So don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So it's like it's going to, you know, the check is going to be, made. Okay, is what I'm hearing in your name is what I'm hearing. So like, don't worry about it too much. Is what the vibes I'm hearing in that energies. Yeah, but there's also some sort of like people who were serious red flags. Okay, it's almost as though like you help somebody financially, and they were actually trying to put you in a tight spot by asking you for financial, support. Trying to balance out certain situations that they have going on while putting you in a tough spot. Um, but it's like, it also kind of feels like someone who's taking advantage of your financial resources that you're providing them as well. So it's like, maybe eventually, someone, gets in their air and they're just like, okay, let me give this back to this person. I don't know why. I'm feeling like catfish vibes from this. I don't know why. Maybe someone was sending money to a catfish, maybe. Okay. Maybe someone was sending resources to a romantic interest, perhaps. That might be of significance. But yeah, something about feeling rejected, okay? Feeling confused about what happened, okay? When you stepped away, it's like leaving them kind of like flabbergasted, is what I'm hearing. It's like, oh, snap. Yeah. It's like almost like putting you in some sort of like interesting spot because in your hemisphere, like your social environment, people are kind of like being a little avoidant towards you because maybe you're not being as generous anymore, any longer, okay? Maybe you've called back your power, okay? You're calling justice upon a situation because you're realizing people were taking advantage of your kindness, of your generosity, um, yeah, of your financial, stability potentially, things like that. It's like people just uh, wanted too. Maybe there's like they wanted more than what you had to offer. Okay, one or two situations, one or two dilemmas. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles, Justice, Judgment, Four of Swords. It's almost like giving this vibe of just like I'm hearing it's like almost exhausting almost. It's like putting you in a weird spot socially because it's like you want to help these individuals, but at the same time you know that it's not it's not worth it. It's like a stalemate situation. Okay? It's putting you in a tough spot having to pick between whether or not you're going to help them. It's like deep down inside you want to help people, but at the same time it's like, it's probably not worth it. But now you're planting seeds of prosperity into other opportunities, okay? Other potential interests is what I'm hearing. This could even be a romantic interest, that you had in the past where it's like you were spending your money, you were trying to, you know, almost like go on dates, maybe even. I don't know. This could be romantically. This could be at work. This could be in multiple scenarios. It just feels like you're calling back a judgment on certain situations, on how you're spending your resources with people. You're recovering from. I'm hearing false pretenses is what I'm hearing, okay? Something about you just now reevaluating how you're going to spend money and where you're going to spend it is what I'm hearing, okay? And I'm feeling as though that your next investments, the newer investments that you're making, maybe some even mutual investments you've had in the past, maybe with certain individuals, you might have had rekindling of some sort of interest of some sort of partnership or union with someone, could be platonic or romantic. It's like now those long term investments that you made with those individuals, those connections that you've harnessed for some time now, have actually kind of like really harvested over time or kind of like compounded over time. And it's almost as though it's like, it feels as though it's like you kind of exhausted from certain things, is what I'm hearing. It's like you had to really evaluate, okay? It maybe made you ill, depressed, very exhausting energy is what I'm hearing in that regard. It's almost as though it's like you are having constraint about something, constraint towards something, okay? Because you had to use your discernment, even though you wanted your heart to do the talking, you had to use, your mind to do the heavy lifting, is what I'm hearing in that regard. But you're now walking into that, rest and recovery. You're able to retreat, okay? You're going to be able to have some sort of solitude and kind of just like be able to step back and reflect on certain things that you've gained from these relationships of the past. But it did perhaps put you in some sort of ill, some sort of like kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, snap, you were trying to be thoughtful, but at the same time, it's like, you can't really, do things the way that you expected. So I suppose that's why, this word coming through restored, your heart space is being restored, your mental health, your physical health is being restored. Your work achievement and success is all coming through for you. You might feel like something is lacking in your life when you depart from certain individuals. You might have lost money that is now returning, but nonetheless, these monies and goals, monies, are returning to you. Perhaps not in the way that you expected it to. It might be bittersweet, but at the end of the day, at least you have some sort of I'm hearing good luck turning your way is what I'm hearing in that regard. Okay. You're able to set sail on new adventures, new endeavors. You might be taking a vacation. You might be healing physically and mentally. Okay, mentally. And yeah, I'm hearing you're having quite a bit of a windfall with this boat energy, some sort of inheritance, winning or windfall. This might have been something about family. Making investments into a home that you felt like your family might have taken over. Okay, and even though you did all these renovations to the house, they still try to claim ownership of it. But then perhaps when a family member passes away, you gain inheritance of the house and then it's yours again. It's kind of like that kind of vibe. You know what I mean? New home, new attitude. Okay, with this broom energy, you might be stepping into a new home. Someone is, undependable and insincere. Okay, wow. So it's like this person tried to, I'm hearing they tried to, wow, I'm hearing weave a web is what I heard. Something with that energy, okay? Disappointment with a friend or lover might be of significance, okay? There's a lot of disappointment that you've been having in your social sphere, okay? There's just some sort of warning you, okay, of a problem either now or in the near future. That the universe is like letting you know that someone's gonna be pointing a finger, okay? Maybe some things are gonna be happening in the midst, okay? Legally that you'll have to kind of like get through, all right? But you're gonna be able to persevere, okay? You're gonna be able to overcome a lot of these problems that you're gonna be facing. But nonetheless, I'm feeling like a lot of egos are at play. Wow, cobweb. I was feeling web. Wow. Ooh. Yeah, I was definitely feeling web in the mist. So yeah, protecting yourself from negative forces beyond your control. There's just a lot of web weaving in the background, okay? So it's like while you're trying to kind of maneuver through these webs, okay, there's gonna be a need to light the fire from under you or someone, okay? In order to kind of remove yourself from these entities, okay? And in doing so, you're gonna be able to jump into some sort of new opportunities, possibilities, or paths that are opening up in your near future. But nonetheless, it's almost like you kind of have to wait it out, is what I'm hearing. Because things are returning to you. People are wondering why it came back now, why things are shifting in your favor, why all of a sudden that you're getting all this prosperity and this goodness in your life, this I'm hearing structure and respect, okay? While you were juggling all these options and people think that you weren't going to notice when people were taking from you, slyly behind the scenes while you were making your investments. They weren't expecting that of you. All of a sudden, the script is flipped and uno reverse, irreversible ends are happening. People are feeling pain because it's like they thought they got away, but in actuality, what they thought was your failure then becomes theirs. So yeah, these are all the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If this reading resonated, consider showing your support by subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment down below. I truly appreciate it. And until next time, trust your path and let the universe work its magic.